Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2021. We have Group A, and for you today it's Adilor versus Taale. Commentating for us we have Airshap and Trey Spire, and tracking is TJ. Say hello everybody.
Hello everyone.
Hey Ricky, thanks for having us. I'm excited to watch some Zelda.
All right. As Ricky said, my name is Trey Spire. I'm joined by Airshap here. How you doing today?
So good. Never been better. Ever. Not one time.
Not one time. I can believe that. there are some days I feel the same.
We are off already.
We are off.
So of course this is the Challenge Cup 2021. So we are running the standard rule set. That's why it's raining. So our runners are going to be heading over to the uncle. They're going to get their random weapon. Could be anything. Could be a bow. Could be a cane of Samaria. I don't think I need to list all of them. I could.
And we have a map check from Adilor already. 2 red crystals in the light world on Hera and Eastern Palace.
Oh, it is cane of Burna.
An interesting weapon to use here. You definitely have to manage your magic very well here, since you only have so much and magic drops are few and far between in Escape.
Yeah, personally, I think cane of Burna is the toughest weapon to work with. There's a handful of enemies you have to kill with it throughout the escape sequence, and our runners are definitely going to be managing their magic.
Definitely, and especially early on, you don't have bombs. You hopefully want to find a bomb somewhere in Escape, so you don't have to worry about coming back to the back.
Exactly. So we've been watching a lot of standard races lately over the tournament, and they all start with this escape sequence. But for me, one thing that makes it interesting is, like you mentioned, that sort of metagame around trying to find bomb drops from our guards based on what we're seeing them drop. We just saw a fairy, which means there are bombs in the prize pack, but they're pretty late in the prize pack. And to our earlier point, it's tough to kill enemies to get those drops with cane of Burna.
Indeed. So we'll definitely see them manage their magic even closer, or possibly even use some of these pots to kill some of the guards to possibly advance the prize pack a little bit. A little bit.
Yep. So we already saw the big magic drop over on Taale's side. Just working our way through that pack. So far, so good though. Just really clean enemy kills with this cane. The sprite that does damage, that circles you, does kind of bounce the enemies around a bit. So it takes a bit of practice to get it down.
Taale fairly low on magic already. Adilor definitely was getting the full magic refill a bit later than her. Definitely helped a little bit. So we'll see how they proceed with the ball and chain guard here.
Yeah, with a little luck on this green guard's movement, you can make it through this room with just pots, which is helpful.
There's that eight pack of bombs for Taale. I'm sure she is relieved to see that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, whenever I see the blue can, I have low hopes about getting that bomb drop. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Must feel good.
Absolutely.
So definitely be keeping an eye on Adilor's side here for the same.
Should be coming up soon. I think he got his red rupee from the green guard in the basement, didn't he? Or did I miss that? Or did I imagine it, rather?
I'm not sure. So yeah, neck and neck. The escape sequence there.
About standard for an escape. Not much divergence until we get out of here, so.
Yeah, you're always hoping to see that divergence after you get out of auto escape. Most runners just head over to Kakariko right after, and that's when you see it open up. But this is, man, truly neck and neck. It's a good opportunity to evaluate the skill level of the two racers anyway, since they're doing the exact same thing.
Right. Just take a look at movement, how clean they take some of the corners and whatnot.
Totally. Yeah, this is wild to watch. Actually, it's truly in sync.
And then that rat had to ruin everything. Aw, darn.
So those snakes do share the same prize pack that the guards do, but
I'm very curious as to why Adilor didn't try there. There's so many of them. There's a good chance they're gonna drop something.
Yeah, I'm just always so worried about magic at this point. Even though Adilor's at over half, that key rat in the next room can move erratically.
You are not wrong on that one. Just a magic drop there.
Yeah, both runners got their key, no problem. But as we can see, Taale has the bombs.
Adilor does not. So he'll be out of escape first, but Taale's gonna have 3 extra items. Not too much back there. The 300 rupees may come in handy in case we decide to do Zora at some point early on. Does also give her better options in Kakariko. She may not have to farm rupees as much for... Never mind, I lied. It's another 300. There's just a bunch of money in the castle today.
Yeah, Rando has a sense of humor to it, so there you go.
That it does. That does give Taale Zora money, though. Not that Zora's in logic yet. It does at least make that a little bit nicer.
Yeah, definitely. One of the, along with finding our Dark World access early, finding your Zora money is definitely one of the little bits of metagame that happens.
Adilor bailed out. Tier 2 tree pool, 8 packs of bombs. Beautiful. And single bombs on the push grab. Well, all right. We'll take it.
Speaking of Rando having a sense of humor, there you go. Just a heart on Lumberjack. Kind of an interesting choice to go check out Lumberjack. A lot of racers and seeds that don't have a boot start will opt to skip that. But it's good info to have. I've definitely ended up on the wrong side of a race by missing what's on Lumberjack. So
I
not
have
not a bad play.
Definitely not. It's just a little bit of time to walk up there. Plus, Adilor got his tree pool. It was definitely worth it to him, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. You always want to be going into Kakariko with 3 bombs, at least one to be able to start doing your checks, but three ideally.
Right. That way you can just full clear it and not worry about it. Speaking of Kakariko, we're going to get our first look into these checks. Plenty of treasure here. Hopefully treasure, anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. But Kakariko definitely can set the tone for the race early on, depending on what we find here. I always laugh at the single arrow. I don't know why.
The single arrow. There's a glove.
Yep, so Adilor will be able to easily get back to the back of escape with that glove, thankfully.
And
again,
more money. We've seen 3 of the 300 rupees so far. That is a lot of money for this seed. I'm not going to have to worry about farming any money at all.
Exactly. Yeah, we always think about the 500 rupees for Zora, but there's a few places, especially in the Dark World, where you're spending money too. So just finding all of it up front like this can be something you just don't have to worry about for the rest of the seed.
Absolutely. Cackwell here, seeming a bit healthy. But nothing too exciting in here.
Yeah, not much in terms of progression.
Bottle Merchant learning the ways of Zora with his ripoffs there.
One of the worst deals you will ever see in business, right there.
With all this money and a glove, how early do you think that these two will route in Zora? Speaking of him, because now he's in Logic.
It's a good question. A lot of runners like to hold off until bow. There's the bow. There's something useful. But a lot of runners like to hold off until they have the moon pearls, so they can use fake flipper. There it is, fake flipper to check Waterfall Fairy along with Zora. So we'll see if these racers opt to just head right up or not.
Indeed, that bow lets us go right over to clear out Eastern. Provided the runners are comfortable with dark rooms, which, in my experience, I believe they both are.
Yeah, Eastern definitely one of the more accessible sets of dark rooms, but it's always helpful to have a sword, so you have a little twinkle to help out as you work your way through them. So
absolutely. Oh, hook shot on race game.
Yeah, good call by Taale, just opting to check it blind there.
This is going to be very interesting for routing. That gives us a lot of things on the mountain to check as well.
Yep, mountain's still out of Logic, but that hasn't stopped folks from heading up there before.
Exactly. Can confirm I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Taale going to South Shore. A typical standard opening in my mind, at least.
This is where we might start to see a little bit of divergence. The mountain's open, Eastern's open. You could head, after this South Shore check at the dam, you could head over to Agina if you're so inclined. So we'll see.
Lots of options available. Adilor just tailing Taale right now.
More money.
More money. In case you didn't think you had enough, here's some more. Taale going over to Desert Palace. Can't quite go in, but can at least check what's on the ledge and do Agina. Check out what's in his cave.
Yeah, much like that lumberjack check, putting off Agina can be dangerous. So some runners like to just get it out of the way early, even though it is kind of a time-consuming check.
Right. Adilor, meanwhile, heading right into Mini Molearm Cave.
Yeah,
getting bullied by those rocks there, though.
Yeah, definitely this is the more conventional route here, as you can see with all of these treasure chests.
Right. Oh, Taale got her mitts out of Agina.
Like I said, you can miss something important over there, so that was a great gamble on Taale's part.
Definitely.
So the mitts at this stage don't do a whole lot on their own. Once we find that moon pearl, though, there will be a lot of checks open up on the mountain.
Indeed.
And those are definitely something we'll need at some point as well. So always nice to find.
Just a shield on Lake Hylia Island, so we will most likely not be seeing that be picked up today.
Yeah, this is the normal item pool. This is not the hard item pool here in the Challenge Cup. So there are 3 shields that could be picked up potentially in our race today.
Yeah, Adilor's early map check. It's a 3 crystal light world, both red crystals on Eastern and Hera.
Yep. So not definitely not a bad choice to head over to Eastern right now, as long as Adilor is comfortable making his way through in the dark here. You see some.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
I don't think Taale has actually done a map check yet. Oh, never mind. There we go. Perfect timing.
Yeah, it's normal to put it off until you're, put in a position to actually make a choice based on what's on the map, and
right.
That's what Taale's doing. There is a very helpful fire rod.
Interestingly enough, that does put Armos in logic. Adilor doesn't know that because he did skip Ice Rod Cave.
That's true. Yes. Depending on where the big key is, of course, there's one check in Eastern that is exclusively locked by the lamp, but the back,
that is true.
Yeah, but the back of Eastern is only fire rod locked. Taale is heading to Eastern as well, though. So, if Taale makes it through and finds something on Armos, that will be good information. It'll tell Taale that either the fire rod or the lamp is hanging out somewhere.
Oh boy, Green Pendant Swamp Palace, according to Sahaslara there.
Hate to see it.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I can confirm that that's definitely a least favorite position for a pendant to be in.
Yeah, a lot of racers like to see the 3 crystals right up front in the light world, because the light world dungeons are generally a bit quicker to get through, but it does mean you're going to have some pendant dungeons in the dark world, and dipping into those blind can be a scary prospect potentially.
Absolutely. Flippers. Interesting.
Yeah, if there was an incentive to check Zora before, now there definitely is. That is one item closer to having to dip into that pendant swamp, though. So
it definitely is. Adilor making good use of his hook shot for the dark room.
Yeah, generally racers hold their sword out, but in this case, just shooting the hook shot or shooting the bow works as well, or boomerang too.
Especially because the hook shot can just shoot you across the room.
Totally.
Yeah.
So to your point, Armos is in logic, given that big key location that Taale just found.
Yep. I will not be surprised if Adilor is heading back now. I will not be surprised if Taale also heads back.
Right. I would be surprised to see someone make this play having the bow without planning to just clear the dungeon out.
Right.
Adilor doing something that you often see. That is a tough dark room right there, with the all of the enemies floating around that you have to hit with the bow. So jumping down, grabbing a fairy.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame him at all. This room can be rough, very rough, without at least the fire rod.
Yep.
But he's out. Perfect.
Yep, makes it through. So you asked earlier, when does the Zora play happen? Is that something you were targeting after Eastern, after finding those flippers?
With those flippers, since we don't have Moon Pearl, that does put the waterfall in a good position to do, along with all the money we have. I could see, especially for Adilor, he hasn't done Ice Rod Cave yet. I can see him going to Ice Rock Cave and then doing all of his flippers checks.
Yeah. Yeah, this could end up working out. The choice to skip Ice Rod Cave could work out here for Adilor.
Adilor very close to the quick kill, just barely missing it right at the beginning there. But still a fairly clean Armos fight.
Yeah, no big deal. So over on Taale's side, you can see why the rooms in the back are in logic here with the fire rod with those lightable torches.
Yep, any room with a torch is in logic as long as you have the fire rod.
Of course, the torch might not be in the easiest location to shoot, but it is there.
Oh no, yeah, of course not. All right, it looks like Adilor is going to chase these flippers.
Yeah, this is the obvious play, I think. Mountain is still out of logic at this point, so sensible play from Adilor here.
Absolutely.
The one thing I'm a little nervous about, though, is given that Adilor jumped in the water from the north, he might not head over to Ice Rod Cave anytime soon.
Very true. Unless he does it right now. He might not get over there for a while. Good old bug net underneath the bridge. And Taale has her first crystal. Alright, let's see where Adilor goes.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, nope. Right up to Zora.
So yeah, we have to. I think Orange is saying in chat here. Yeah, I think we have to hope for an early flute then to send Adilor back in that direction.
Hey, look, a flute. Great job. We did it.
I take full responsibility for the appearance of the flute there.
Perfect. That does take us up the mountain now, logically.
Yes, it does.
And there's our Moon Pearl. That is our Dark World access on Taale's side.
Yeah, Adilor does not have those mitts. So as far as Adilor is concerned, still looking for that last piece of the Dark World puzzle, but yes, we can confirm now that this is not an Aegis-Seed.
A Bombos medallion. Zora actually having something that might be useful. That doesn't happen often.
No, it does not. Great Zora area here today.
Correct. Adilor does not have Dark World access. Hammer would be bad. I agree. Because that would definitely push him away from Agina.
Yeah, flute's really the best thing that Adilor could find now. It makes the Agina check very quick, as well as the Ice Rock Cave check.
All right, Adilor definitely going to go activate his flute. That's going to speed up his movement quite a bit.
Yep, so the question here is, like you mentioned, this opens up the mountain, a lot of checks up on the mountain, but some racers like to get those one-offs out of the way, so we'll see which direction Adilor goes in.
Yeah, because he has two one-off locations essentially to go to at this point.
Exactly.
So we'll see where he goes first. He's gonna bail himself out. He actually might leave that fire rod for a while thinking about this on second thought.
That's
He
true.
doesn't have his mitts, and that's, I think, will drive him up the mountain.
That's a great point. Yeah, to Yeah, what we were saying earlier, not only is East Light Death Mountain open, but with those mitts, there's a lot of stuff up on the mountain we can check.
Yeah.
Hookshot opens up Hookshot Cave as well over in the Dark World, so it's if you're running by density, making choices by density, that's by far your best play at this point.
Absolutely. Oh, yep.
Nope.
Oh, never mind. We're going to get our fire rod. Wow. All right. I mean, I don't hate this either. You've orphaned 2 corners of the map which you can flute to very easily. You get the flute. There's no reason to not just do them right away.
Totally, yeah. I guess the reason you would hold off on Agina is with the hopes that, hey, we found the flute. Maybe that's an indicator that we'll be doing Meyer later. I'm going to hold off on Agina until later. But Ice Rod Cave here, yeah, just do it.
Right. Taale making her ascent up the mountain. And Adilor looks like it's going to be going into the Dark World rather than going up the mountain.
Oh, Book and Spec Rock. Yeah, some racers like to just put off the mountain as long as humanly possible.
I can see it. If there's nothing up here, oh, map check. Ooh.
Yeah, that's rough. So Skullwoods and Thievestown are both pendants. Probably two of the fastest dungeons in the Dark World.
And it looks like Adilor is going to be going right into the Skullwoods. Get the few checks here. Can't quite beat it yet, but can at least clear out everything except for Moth. There's one of the two items.
I often forget you need a sword.
Yep.
To get through Skullwoods. Adilor dropping down in the back here. I believe there's a very slight chance you can get stuck without a small key drop, but more than likely we'll find one.
Yeah, it's very likely with there being 3 keys in the dungeon, and one cannot be on Moth. Hey, our second item. How convenient. The small keys are more than likely. There's at least one up here. There it is.
Yep. Yeah, so this is a great Skullwoods, really. Both items right up front. It's a pendant, unless we're looking at a Ped Seed, which we always are hoping for a Ped Seed.
Always.
We won't be seeing Moth.
Powder over in Paradox Cave for Taale. Got a bunch of checks over here.
Nothing so far. Wow. Yeah, this is usually the hyper of the 2 caves. More hype cave, but not today.
Not today, no. Still no sword for either runner as well. We do need at least 2 of those to complete the seed. Hopefully more, but at minimum 2.
Yeah, without a hammer or a sword at this point, we're cautiously working our way around the map. There's Kin of Samaria over in Village of Outcasts. Always something you want to see. Definitely helps with, it's required for some dungeons, obviously, but dungeons like Ice Palace, you always want Kin of Samaria for Icebreaker or Diver Down in Swamp if we end up having to jump in there.
Absolutely. The cane it's required for 2 dungeons and makes 2 other ones that much nicer. At minimum.
Yep. So I wonder if we'll see Adilor just avoid Thievestown entirely. It's Pendant.
Yep. It is a pendant.
Taale working her way into the Dark World here. Like we said, a lot of mountain checks.
Getting her first look at the map.
Yeah, this could be big for Adilor, depending on whether Taale chooses to skip thieves down here later. Would not be the first time I've seen progression in Pendant Thieves Town.
Right. At most, there's going to be one item up here. We've gotten a map and a compass. And we still got to find that big key.
I wonder if both the map and the compass in the front will inspire Adilor to head to the back. I know now when it's a pendant, if I find a few items up front, I tend to dip out. There is a very, very nice mirror over on Taale's side.
Indeed, and we have all four items in the back of Thieves Town.
Gosh,
and yeah, you can't get one of them without the hammer, and you know that. That mirror does give Taale access to Hera, but you can't complete it without having either a hammer or a sword, because Moldorm is rude.
Moldorm is definitely rude, for sure. Adilor heading to the back here. We'll see how he chooses to take on blind without a hammer or a sword. It is possible.
With that, I'm a fan of the Cane of Burna here personally, but
especially.
Oh yes. Wow, Taale getting the boots in Hookshot Cave as well.
Ooh. So good choice to head up the mountain.
And I missed what was on the floating island, but Taale going for it, so it must be something.
Yeah, I did as well. Chat says bottle. Our tracker says bottle.
It's a bee in a bottle. It does give us Sick Kid.
Yes, it does. Easy to check with the flute. And Taale will probably be heading back there anyway to use the Dark World portal, so...
Definitely.
Oh, Adilor.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I wonder if Adilor just pieces out here. Yep.
Red Boomerang over on Ether Tablet.
Yeah, I suspect we will not be seeing the Red Boomerang over on Taale's side this seed.
Yeah, I suspect so as well.
So, unfortunately, with the flippers, the mirror, and the hookshot, there is a Dark World dungeon that is pretty accessible right now.
We're gonna keep eluding the Pendant Swamp until it happens, I'm sure.
Yeah, Pendant Swamp feels inevitable, unfortunately.
It does. It is hammerless Pendant Swamp, so you can't go too far.
Yeah, although we are finding a lot of our progression here, so maybe not. Adilor grabbing the smith. No mirror, so I suspect we'll see a world tour for our froggy friend.
Good old world tours. Definitely my favorite thing to do here.
Yeah, I love to just hold on to the frog for as long as possible.
Absolutely, just drag him along until he can't take it anymore, or at least so you'd return to the light world anyway.
Yeah. So Taale wrapping up in Hera Basement here. Pretty lengthy investment, unfortunately, for this big key, but hopefully there's something in the big chest so it pays off.
Hopefully.
And speaking of hype caves, here's the OG hype cave.
Is it hype today, though?
Usually isn't. We'll see.
Right?
Nope. Blue mail definitely helpful. Taale takes a death in the front of her here, but it's just a second or two to walk back, right. So not a huge deal.
Not too terrible.
Interesting Yeah, interesting choice over on Tail's side to get the big key and then Harapot anyway.
Indeed. She might be banking on something's in that big chest.
Yeah, must be. Oh, Kubo in the chat making a good point. The blue bottle room is tough with no sword or hammer. Blue beetle room, yep.
Yeah. Speaking of bottles, there was a bottle on the smith, which Adilor chose not to just turn in while he was in Kakariko.
Here's one of our hair items, and here's the big chest, just the compass.
So you can definitely so if Adilor when Adilor comes up to do Hera, if he decides to skip the basement, it'll definitely be worth it.
Yep. Adilor is making that mountain play now, so he will find his boots, his mirror, all that stuff in the next few minutes.
Yep. And Taale heading into Mire. We're going to see what medallion we need for Mire today, and possibly see a desert play.
Yeah, I like getting this out of the way early, just getting that early info on what the Mire medallion is. I think it was Bombos.
It was Bombos. So she also checked Turtle Rock, and it was also Bombos. So we're set on our medallions.
Yeah, this could be a quick one, actually.
It might be, because at this point we're what we need. Adilor has Samara, so we need an ice rod and some swords and a hammer.
We do need an ice rod, which I'm sure will be in that Pendant Swamp we keep alluding to, right?
Either Pendant Swamp or Laser Bridge. It does like to live on Laser Bridge. Oh, and there's our first sword over in Checkerboard Cave.
Great call for Taale here.
That does allow her to open up Mire. She can't quite go in yet. She does not have Samaria.
It's going to make that desert play too.
It is a dungeon you can complete. I don't see why you don't just do this here, unless you want to wait and pair it with all of Mire. But from Taale's perspective, she is still missing Samaria, which could just be in desert. You never know.
Yep.
And desert is boots locked.
Yep. Both runners should. Well, Taale obviously has the boots. Adilor should by the time he heads over to desert as well.
Yeah, I see no world where Adilor does not just also do Hookshot Cave here.
Yeah, Orange in the chat pointing out we're gonna have very early access to Pyramid Fairy, which is a check that I always like to do as soon as possible for whatever reason. We'll see if our runners do as well.
Pyramid Fairy likes to hide some really nice things sometimes. For no mode, Hammer Ice and Sword number 2. It seems like yes. And I guess technically, logically, the lamp, but you know, who needs a lamp these days?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these runners could make it through dark rooms without the lamp, but even the most experienced runners are going to be a little bit quicker with the lamp in dark rooms, so it's not nothing.
Right, absolutely.
Adilor finally makes it through what I think to be one of the trollier sections of this game, the long spiral walk.
It's very slow if you don't have the boots. It hurts real bad. I think all that time is to walk through.
Yeah, it's always great to find them after doing it, like immediately after doing it.
Yep, which is definitely the case in this seed. Very nice. Very nice fight there.
Yeah, nice use of the fire rod for Landmos. That's another crystal.
It is.
Tail side.
We'll see where she goes next. I could definitely see her going over to Village of Out. Never mind. We're going to save the old man.
It's one of those sort of one-off checks now that with the flute is pretty quick. So don't blame her.
Very true.
Yeah, I do wonder with Skullwoods and Thieves Town being pendants if Taale will hold off on Village of Outcasts and miss out on that Cane of Samaria for a bit.
Right. It is very item dense, especially with having the mirror and the mitts. You've got plus with powder, you can do magic bat.
Yep.
So there's a lot and there's a non-zero number of times I've seen that magic bat have a hammer.
Yeah, one of the funnier classic rando places that the hammer could be. That's kind of goofy.
Yep. All right, let's see where Adilor decides to go. Come back to Kakariko.
Yeah, this is good for Adilor. So he'll probably find that Cane of Samaria at some point. Might make the Skullwoods dip, but like we saw earlier. Oh wait, sorry, Adilor was here already. It was Taale.
Adilor was here already. Yeah, Adilor is in the second trip. You're good. Yeah, Adilor found Cane and did Skullwoods. Looks like he's going to make that play for Magic Bat.
Yeah, like you were saying, could be something.
Taale, on the other hand, going back up to fight Moldorm. All right, let's see. Magic Bat. What you got? Oh my god. Well, there's the hammer.
Yeah, sure is. That could be something Taale puts off.
It could be. It's definitely one of those things you don't think about until it happens to you. Can confirm it has happened to me.
Yeah, it's a tough choice to make. Without the hammer, you lose your portal, right?
Yep.
So
you lose your portal. Speaking of losing his portal, I'm surprised he didn't. You have the hammer. You can go back up and get your portal, and do hammer pegs because they're right there.
That's true.
But yeah, Adilor needs 2 swords and an ice rod for go.
Gosh, still no sword. About to pick up his first.
About to pick up his first one. Meanwhile, Taale doing fighter sword strats on Moldorm, takes Moldorm down.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see Taale head back up here for Moldorm, given how annoying fighter sword Moldorm can be.
Mm-hmm.
But no problem. Got it out of the way.
Yeah, Adilor still has quite a bit in Village of Outcasts to do. He's now skipped Hammer Pegs and Sick Kid. Neither runner's turned in their bottle yet. Thinking about it.
Taale
and Purple Chest, yes, and Purple Chest.
Yeah, Purple Chest a little less surprising than the other two, but yeah, you're right. Taale might do it here as she works her way through through the village.
True. This is also Tail's first visit to this side of the Dark World. So we'll see where she decides to go first.
Yeah, heading north, which is interesting. Opting not to check Bumper Ledge.
Could be chasing Pyramid. The only problem with that is the only way to get the bomb over there, to my knowledge, I could be very wrong, is either have the hammer or to kill Aga 1. Unless there's a way you can swim with the bomb.
I want to say there's a bomb jump or something.
Adilor has the hammer. Tail does not.
Yeah, so I think Taale is just probably working her way over to Catfish, maybe.
Could be. Getting some of the North Dark World checks done. You've got boots. You've got everything you need to clear out this area. Not a bad decision.
Here's our lamp.
There's our lamp. What a place for that.
Adilor just missing the one cycle. No big deal.
Ooh. Lambo not being kind. There we go. Oh, shovel on Tail's side. In the Bonk Rocks cave.
So where will our ice rod be?
That's a great question. There's a lot of places that ice rod can be.
There's all of the places that
all of the places minus like 28. But
Yeah.
That being all of GT and Trinex. Tail getting a look at the Lumberjack Ledge just in case. I don't hate that. You have mirror your check and Bumper Ledge. You may as well see what's on that darn ledge.
Right. That's why a lot of runners just hold off on the Lumberjack check until a little bit later. Tail saves some time by routing it in with these other checks. Tail about to grab that Katasmari. I think it was in C-shape house, right? Yep.
Right there. Adilor cleaning up desert, not finding anything too exciting. Meanwhile, it's heading up the mountain again.
Gonna take down Moldorm. Could be making a aggressive TR play as well.
I'm a fan of the aggressive TR play, personally. I don't think it's a great play, but I think it's something that I would consider for sure. Oh, he's going to read Ether Tablet and see it's a boomerang. Probably not care.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Cave.
Oh, yep, that's a good point.
Spike Cave is definitely a thing he can do. He's got Burna, he's got half magic. And hammer. He's got and a glove. He's got everything he needs to do Hype Cave. Or not Hype Cave, Spike Cave.
Spike Cave often more hype than Hype Cave.
Which is very impressive.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Gonna look at Cave 45 here. It's a piece of heart.
To your point earlier, Adilor are going to end up saving a bit of time here by just herapotting and avoiding the basement.
Yep. Grab both items and then be out of here.
Yeah, I think TR at this point would be pretty aggressive. You can see there's Ice Palace, there's Pod, all on the table where that Ice Rod could be. You got to do them anyway.
Right.
But you never know in these one-on-one races. Weird aggressive plays can be rewarded.
Indeed. Oh, Adilor taking a fall there.
Absolutely no shame in falling to Moldorm.
No. I can say, again, a non-zero number of times where Moldorm is just rude and will just knock you off the edge because he can.
Over and over and over.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cleans him up in round 2 here, though. No big deal.
So we're going to get a look at the Bombos tablet here as well on Taale's side. Just a little piece of love.
It's another one of those checks that can get isolated and delayed for a long time. So it's a good bit of info, good bit of info, even if it didn't pay off.
Indeed. Very nice routing, just getting that done with Purple Chest. One of my favorite ways to do it.
Yep.
All right, we're going to see 2 different dungeons here we haven't seen yet. Ice Palace on Adilor's side, and Meyer on Taale's side.
Yeah, this is a point in the race where if one of them finds that ice rod and ends up being able to go mode more dungeons than the other racer, that could make a big difference.
Indeed. Plus,
Taale needs that hammer still.
Mm-hmm. So I definitely see the Meyer play over anything else right now. It's a dungeon you can complete. You've got the lamp, so you don't have to worry about the dark rooms.
Yep.
Just get it done.
Yeah, Taale did skip powder. To answer chat.
She might be trying to put that off until she finds the hammer, but in this case, that's not going to pay off at all.
Exactly.
Knowing where the hammer is. Also skip shovel. Oh, Taale does have the shovel and didn't think about it. She was up by Stumpy. Could have mirrored and just dug up whatever was there.
Yeah, that's the time to do it, unfortunately.
Very clean icebreaker.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Also skip Sick Kid. Both racers have now ignored Sick Kid.
Well,
and their times of going to Kakariko.
Yeah, he's contagious. You want to stay away.
Yes, they're mad at Lazy Kid for bad ladder seeds. That's definitely what's happening here for sure.
Bottle over on out. What is with all the bees in the sea? There's so many bees.
There are so many bees. Taale finding the big key there is going to opt to skip cutscene chest. Hopefully this pays off.
Yeah, I generally try to save that for last if possible. So, makes sense. Ooh.
Silver arrows. Ooh. Very nice. So the ice rod isn't here, and Taale doesn't and decides to go mode this dungeon. With those silvers being an iced tea, she may not find those.
It's true.
Hypothetically, of course. 20 rupees in the Meyer big chest. And she's going to go straight down to Moldorm. Or not Moldorm. Where are we at? We're in Meyer.
Vitreous, there you go. Yeah, Vitreous with fighter sword and no cape. Not the easiest boss in the world. We do have the bow. But
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting fight on Tail's side. Meanwhile, Adilor dropping right into Cold Stare.
yep, fighter sword, cold stare. Also not the chillest fight in the game, but we do have that fire rod. We have half magic.
I think Adilor's bottle had a green potion in it. I don't recall. The first one he found, not the second one.
Yeah, I only remember bees. All I can think about is bees. Bees.
And Cold Stare down.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. You can group those puffs up. Get multi-hits in with the fire rod, and it's no problem.
Exactly.
And here's
All right,
Vitreous.
And yep, here's Vitreous. Oh, bomb strats.
Yeah,
I am a fan of this.
I always forget about this, but yeah, it's effective.
Ooh, taking hit from that lightning.
Yeah, I also just find this to be like a funny strat. Oof, another lightning hit.
Blue Mail putting in some work today on this fight.
Yeah, for sure. Gotta be careful here, though. A little surprised we're not seeing more bow usage.
There it is.
Yep.
Ooh. Meanwhile, Adilor is heading right into Pod.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Just keep working through those dungeons. Hope you find the ice rod on the way.
Yep. Yeah, Tail cannot take another hit. And with Vitreous down to one little eyeball, he's going to be shooting lightning almost constantly.
Yeah. And okay, there we go.
Eight arrows,
Whew.
and it's done. Very nice. A little bit of a nail biter there.
Yeah, I've been holding my breath for that whole fight. So yeah, here's Pod. There could be an ice rod. There might not be an ice rod. Who knows? We'll see.
6 items up here in the front. At least 4 of them have to be small keys. One Quake medallion. Not necessary, but it's there. Good for dead rocks, I suppose.
It exists.
It exists. Tail heading up into Skull Woods here.
Yeah, without the hammer, totally understand putting off Pod.
Yeah, absolutely. Pod, Thieves Town, you don't want to go into without a hammer necessarily. Ice Palace, you don't even want to do without a hammer. Just because you can't finish it.
Yeah, put that key under the big rock in Ice Palace.
Yep. Plus, you can't even get 2 Cold Stare without the hammer.
Duh.
That's maybe the most important part of that, but you know.
Yeah, I guess killing the boss is a component of this game. Adilor going for
being bullied by all these beetles here.
Yeah, but basically if you're holding, so if you drop a Samaria block, it's just going to skip it. Basically, if you drop a Samaria block and you're holding down right next to that pit, and then immediately hold up and do a dash, you're able to sort of clip through those 2 pegs and save a little bit of time.
Oh. I did not know that. That's very interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately, what often ends up happening is you just get bullied by the beetles and you end up losing time.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Taale gonna dip into Thieves Town here.
Gonna see all 4 dungeon items right up front and probably groan like the rest of us did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on one hand, it's good to see her like near that magic bat.
Yeah.
The other hand, this is not magic bat.
Right. Absolutely. The less time she has without the hammer, the gap's gonna grow slightly more.
Yep. Of course, Taale was the one to find the lamp, so Adilor screen. Very, very dark right now.
Indeed. Dark Maze and Pod, no joke. Definitely, the sword is helping immensely.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a shield and a compass back here, though. Plus, I suppose, whatever's in this big chest. A map.
Oof.
So that does mean that our friendly Helmosaur King has an item.
Yeah. Basement should be a bit easier since there are torches in the the dreaded turtle room.
The only room that really needs torches down there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right, Taale making her climb up to the top of Thieves Town. When Adilor was up here, he did take a death. So as long as Taale does not, we should see the rest, at least 2, maybe 3 of the items, depending upon if she decides to fight blind.
That's a great point. Yeah, Ice Rod could be chilling in this dungeon, and Adilor just missed it.
Mm-hmm. Just 10 bombs in the attic, though.
Right, down we go in Pod. More dark rooms.
Ooh. Taale at 1 heart. Okay, got the fairy.
It's the fire rod shot, no problem. Oh gosh, chat pointing out that the ice rod could be in the big chest, and Taale does not have the hammer yet. All right, we'll see if Helma chooses to be nice today.
Here's hoping. Oop, misses the first arrow, misses the second arrow, and takes the third.
Definitely
Meanwhile, we have a blind fight on Taale's side.
Yep. Yeah, Helma, one of those bosses that definitely benefits from silver arrows. Blind, not a boss that benefits from silver arrows, but we do have that Cane of Burna that made phase 3 easy breezy.
Indeed.
Just a heart.
All right.
So I
So
don't
lots of.
Yeah, I don't think anyone checked. I don't think anyone's gotten eyes on pedestal yet, so it's possible that that blue pendant could be helpful in the end.
Very true.
Probably not, but maybe.
Taale doing Smith chain. Hopefully, cross our fingers.
Yeah, this is a good sign. If you're a Taale fan.
Gotta do Magic Bat. Gotta make that decision. Otherwise, when do you come and do it?
Right. Yeah, it's still relatively early, but yeah, the race kind of hinges on this choice in a lot of ways.
It does. Oh, it's a red potion. It's a red potion in the bottle.
Not me.
No, she's doing it. Okay.
All right, we have a race.
This does make sense. She has already done her South Dark World checks. So all she has to do is take the purple chest to get it opened. She doesn't need a portal.
So here we go. It is just truly an ice rod at this point.
And second sword. Yes, we definitely also do still need a second sword.
That's a great point.
Taale also opting to not do hammer pegs.
Yeah. Lost, well, yeah, to your point earlier, lost the portal, but not really since we found the hammer, so.
That with that hammer, looks like Taale's going to be driven right into Ice Palace. Not a terrible play here.
Not
at
at
this
all.
point. At this point, both runners are in Ice Rod and Sword Go. A dungeon you have to do. Get it done. Whatever's here will hopefully help.
Yeah, Ice Palace also just one of those dungeons that isn't that much faster in Go mode than it is out of Go mode. Aside from Ice Tea Room, which in this race is not something you want to skip.
Definitely not.
Yeah, this is good that Taale is prioritizing Ice Palace before finding the Ice Rod, so it suggests that she will in fact find those silver arrows.
Right.
So yeah, as our two racers race through these dungeons, we've already seen. Yeah, this is part of the Challenge Cup. This is game 1, I believe, in their group stage match. There are a lot of folks in this tournament. It's really exciting and cool to be a part of right now. So thanks everyone for tuning in. There will be many more of these over the next few weeks.
And if you haven't had the chance yet, definitely give our racers a follow. They're great people. Great racers have put on a great show for you here today. Definitely well worth it.
Yeah, for sure. That's to me, that's the really cool thing about this tournament, is there's like a lot of different types of play styles and skill levels and just a lot of members of the community able to participate right now. And as you can see in this race, it's two quality racers going at it.
Adilor showing off those Dark Mire strats.
Yeah, this is not easy.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, he does have that red potion, so at least we have that. His Vitreous fight is going to go very well. He does have silvers. It's going to go very quickly. We'll whopping 11 arrows to take Vitreous down at minimum. As long as you don't miss. Speaking of silvers.
That's all going to be happy to see those. Personally, I'm always extra happy to see them after playing so many hard standard races over the last few months.
Absolutely.
Silvers feel especially good.
It's been definitely a relief to be like, oh my goodness, silvers. Oh, I don't have to worry about the end game as much anymore.
Adilor makes it through. Like you said, the easy part's coming up with those silver arrows.
Now, I'm sure a lot's weighing on Adilor's mind. This is his 6th crystal. He definitely has a lot of choices here.
Yep. Good old Pendant Swamp. Staring him right in the face.
Adilor takes down Vitreous as Taale breaks open the ice. Taking down the Puffs with a fire rod.
Really well done. Yeah, it would be a completely reasonable choice to just head up to Turtle Rock at this point. We'll see.
Ah, he has a mushroom.
Yeah, this is good too. It's gonna give him an opportunity to restock those bottles.
At least release the bees. Oh, it's a gold bee too. Oh.
Well, thankfully we got infinite money early in the city, practically.
You're not wrong about that one.
Yeah, no worries about the gold bee.
All right, Adilor going right up the mountain. I believe this is the Turtle Rock play.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. If it's in Turtle Rock, then that's really, really good for Adilor here.
Indeed, but is Ice Rod Go mode better or worse than Sword Go mode?
I keep forgetting. I keep assuming it's whatever. We'll find one on the way, you know. And I look back, and we still haven't found it.
Mm-hmm. Still no sword. Granted, all 3 of them could be in GT.
It's true.
That is a very rough situation, but it's very possible. Yeah. At the top, I'm not that cruel.
I mean, we already had one big troll with the hammer on Magic Bat. What would be putting all the swords in GT?
Right.
So yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, with an Ice Rod in TR, Adilor would be in really, really good shape. But if Taale, chooses not to head up to TR and the Ice Rod is somewhere else, anything could happen still.
Yeah, there's a lot of places it can be. A lot of things still not checked. One thing that might prove advantageous to Adilor in particular is if that Ice Rod is in the Thieves Town big chest, since he still has all 4 items there.
Oh gosh, yep.
If it's there and he decides to go down the whole way, that's essentially a one-off location for Taale at this point.
Yeah.
Minus Sick Kid, because we're ignoring him today, I guess.
Yeah, Sick Kid would be so weird with both racers just choosing not to turn that bottle in. Yeah, Taale has done a little bit more overworld. Taale was able to find that lamp. Was it King's Tomb? It was one of those checks.
Lamp was in King's Tomb.
Yeah, so Adilor hasn't done those mirror checks.
3 small keys in the front of Meyer. Very interesting.
Yeah, T-Rock, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or yeah, listen.
No, I was like, no, I was like, wait, are we in?
We're not in Meyer. We're in Turtle Rock. You are absolutely correct. Listen.
Yeah, it's tough to.
What is a dungeon?
Yeah, what are words even? Hey, a bee.
That's all. We know where all 4 bottles are.
1 sword, 4 bottles.
Typically, you want that to be the opposite.
Typically.
Man, that's 3 bottles with bees today. Actually.
So
only one had a potion. And no sick kid. Yeah, we know where all 4 bottles are and still have not gone to talk to him.
Yeah, Sick Kid's going to be very excited to see all of these bottles.
Adilor did leave the one on the floating island, but has the other 3.
I'm sure he could just tell Sick Kid about it, describe it.
Right. Explain that there was a bee in it and he didn't want to touch it, so.
Oh, trying to hit this hammer jump.
That might be it. Yep, there it is. Very nice. Adilor, meanwhile, going right into Mimic Cave. Another of Ice Rod's finest homes.
My favorite locations.
Just $20 today. Taale getting her first shield.
Every one of these TR checks that isn't the Ice Rod just makes you say, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. Definitely makes it even more and more of just sad. Because then it's like, well, I've done all of this dungeon and it's not here because I got to go somewhere else and find it.
Yeah. I still think this is unequivocally the correct play, though. I think it's heading over to Swamp would have been
a Master Sword. That's exciting. So now we are officially in an Ice Rod hunt.
I can stop being wrong when I say we're in an Ice Rod hunt over and over now.
Grant, a 3rd sword would be nice, but little celebratory dance from Adilor there, getting that sword.
No.
I'm sure that's a relief.
Here's a dark room I often struggle with. Adilor made it look really easy.
It's definitely one that does take practice because you can't see the track, but you can see where the fire bars are.
Yeah.
Taking the laser bridge exit just to be safe. I don't blame him in the slightest. All right, here we go. Only 2 items here. We got the compass, I believe. There's the Ice Rod. Adilor's in go.
And takes the almost celebratory death on Laser Bridge.
Hey, a free refill for his health right there. And a tempered sword. Wow. What a play.
A lot of runners would have just been like, you know what, I'm in go mode. I'm getting out of here. I'm not touching Laser Bridge anymore and miss that sword. So good for Adilor.
Yeah. Darn that mini Helma. Ruining that swag cane dash. He does that to me all the time.
Yeah.
Happy spins there on his platform. All right. Taale, we're going to see where she ends up going next. Going to turn to the mushroom, probably also buy potions. Not a bad decision. Especially if she's deciding to also go straight up the mountain here.
Yeah, definitely. Also releasing the shiny bee.
Yep. Very clean Trinex fight there. And with that 7th crystal, we're going to be entering GT. There is a little game we like to play involving the GT Big Key location. Choose a number between 1 and 22 of where you think the GT Big Key is going to be.
Winner receives the adoration and respect of their peers.
Thanks, Zeke. I never know what the bot commands are, so I just hope someone else can just take care of it for me.
And points. There will be points.
Speaking of, I guess I'll throw my guess in. 8. The answer is always 8. That's my opinion. I'm 98% of the time wrong.
I usually go with 11, which has been reserved here. So I guess... oh, no. I got it.
Yeah. All right. There's 1 and 2.
Oh. That's okay.
It's okay. If it's 7, you will have won in my book.
Thank you. That's all that really matters.
3, just a piece of heart. Yes, Ricky. Ice Rod was in TR. On Laser Bridge, along with a sword.
And where else? Where else could it be?
Red Mail. Officially a shiny Vaporeon. There's number 7. So good effort.
Yeah, red mail, another one of those items that definitely not going to say no to.
Check number 8. We're going to continue through the left side.
Yep, nice little boomerang strats through these rooms.
There's a cape. Nice defensive item for Ganon. One of my favorites. Because it's a fight I sometimes struggle with.
Totally. And it can get you through the first couple phases more quickly. Since you can just slash.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, there's 10 through 13. Tail officially at bottle percent, picking up that last B.
Pay a visit to Bob.
Good old Bob.
R.I.P. Bob.
Hiding a small key today.
So here's another place where those silver arrows are invaluable. This is, I don't know, for me, aside from Ganon, this is the fight where silver arrows are most nice. Most nice.
Most nice. Absolutely.
Hey,
All right, there's the big key. 15? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15.
15.
15. 1 vanilla GT big key.
Congrats to Captain Mowell, the winner of today's GT Big Key guessing game. 9 points.
Heck
enjoy
yeah.
enjoy your 9 points. Let us know what you do with them.
All right, Adilor just has a climb Agatu and Ganon.
Yep, starting our combat rooms here in the gauntlet.
Making quick work of the Stalfos here with the Fire Rod.
Yeah, with half magic and the Fire Rod, it's pretty quick to get through here without having to worry too much about running out of magic later.
Yeah, we do have to keep in mind he does not have the lamp. Not that that should be too much of an issue for Ganon, since he does have silvers. He doesn't have to entirely worry about torch glitch.
That's a good point. Yeah, torch glitch is doable with the Fire Rod for sure, but it's a little less consistent. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Oh yeah, he did buy a whole bunch of blue potions. That is very true. He's fine. He's got plenty of magic.
Yeah.
Also, really? Vaporeon used flamethrower? How could you?
A little sus.
Alrighty, into Wizrobes 2. Taale, I'm sure, relieved to see both that third sword and the ice rod next to each other.
Yeah.
Just gotta make it down to that last chest to pick up the key. Ooh, Adilor taking a fall. Not too bad. Falling is still never fun.
Yeah, Taale opting not to take that safety, I think, but was able to grab a fairy, so should make it through okay.
Absolutely. The great thing about just having powder at this point in the game, you really don't have to worry too much about your health. Especially once you hit TR, there's anti-fairies everywhere. Adilor not worrying about anything up at the top. Even passing on a full magic refill from Wizrobe, we got this magic here. Who needs excess magic?
So we saw Trolldorm be a little trolly earlier. No problem here, though.
Almost got him there for a second. Meanwhile, Taale with a very clean Trinex fight on the other side.
Yep.
Phase 1 and Phase 2 goes down. Meanwhile, Adilor climbing the stairs, going to be taking on a lesson in geometry. I guess suppose trigonometry. We're dealing with angles.
One of those. I don't know.
One of those ometries, right?
I was an art kid. I don't know this stuff. I think that's why I'm so bad at this fight. People in chat are always like 222 or 32, whatever. Mine's always like 1001.
It looks like a binary string.
Yep.
Or soccer formations, yeah.
Makes it through though.
Aga being rude, yeah. Some of those patterns were not kind. Not sure if these are happy dashes or nervous dashes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, 311001.
There you go. Adilor dropping down to Ganon. Gets a
nice spin.
Double spin there.
I'm a little jealous of that. I have no idea how people do that, and I'm so happy for them when they do it.
Yeah. It's one of those little timing things you just sort of get a feel for. Very quick phases 1 and 2 though. Really nicely done.
And so far being kind with his warps as well. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Oh no, okay, we're fine. Everything's good. We did it. All right, Adilor's got to shoot 4 arrows into the pig. Nice double. Oh no.
Oof.
Oh, Adilor.
Should
The
be.
torch goes with the fire rod. Has 3 arrows in. That fire bat comes in and snipes him. Ooh. He does still have time to take this. Taale does still have to kill Ice Armos, get the big key, and climb.
Absolutely.
But it definitely is Adilor's race to lose at this point.
Yep, more than enough time. Just gotta take a deep breath. Of course, Adilor doesn't know that there's more than enough time.
Right, exactly. I'm sure in his mind, his mind is racing. Just, oh no, I fell. That could be it. Steering clear of that fire bat this time. Don't want a repeat of the last one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, to your point, torch glitch, not super important to Silver, so just taking the big dodge there. Smart, safe play.
Definitely well worth it.
There you go. Down goes Ganon.
GG's to Adilor.
Yeah, get your GG's in the chat.
At this point, we have to cross a 1x3 bridge, not fall, and we've done it.
We have done it. It is scary. It's a small bridge, but we have done it.
Adilor finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 1:32:00.
That's even.
All right, we'll see if either are. And we are joined by Adilor. GG's.
GG. This seat is dumb.
So I had a feeling you were going to say that.
You know my exact words. You've heard me talk about seeds like this. You know I'm just...
Oh, I do.
Why? What did you find so dumb about it?
Why is the ice rod always on laser bridge? Did they patch this game and make that just the meta? I don't understand.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we were saying it was the right call to head up to TR, and thankfully it paid off this time because, but yeah, it does seem to happen a lot.
I'm just amazed that I went in with like no ice rod, 1 sword, and literally found everything else I needed, like in Turtle Rock. It's just like it just keeps happening. It's just like why not go to Turtle Rock? I mean, Dr. Bob was right.
Yeah, Turtle Rock just anymore just seems to have everything you need. Right on Laser Bridge, of course. So you have to go the whole way inside.
Of course. I mean, with how the keys in Turtle Rock usually are, it's just where the items usually end up. So it's just never surprising anymore. I'm just like, oh, well, there it is once again. Yep, right. as it is.
But between that and Pendant's Swamp Palace, I don't know what's more of a meme at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Pendant Swamp is tempting, so I'm thinking, man, it's either TR or Swamp. Like, I've got to pick one of them, and I'm like, let's just go for TR, see what happens. Maybe it's right, and if not, like, you still got to do all that work in TR to find the big key anyway, at least in the upper half. So,
very true. Oh, I suppose I need to apologize for the hammer because I called that.
Oh, did you? Did you witch that hammer? Really?
I may have.
I wish I had my mic on because I did the same thing. I was just like, I'm floating to 3 and I'm like, magic bat. What if the hammer is there? Let's go find out. Turns out
it was there.
Yeah, that was one of the defining choices, I think, of this race was grabbing that hammer relatively early. Definitely paid off. There it is, paid off.
Yeah, I felt like when I got that hammer, I'm like, oh, that's gotta be like. It felt early. It felt like, oh, I just picked that out of a needle in a haystack right there. That felt like a really lucky play, and I was happy to have it.
Definitely, yeah. I for sure. Your early game made us a little worried. We watched Taale grab the mitts out of Sahaslara, grab the fire rod out of Ice Rod Cave, and we see you. Oh, let's just go to the right, and we'll skip Ice Rod Cave. It's like, okay, we know there are 2 items that you absolutely need.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you go back for those, and then you got the flute out of Waterfall.
That flute saved me, absolutely. Getting the flute there. I'm a firm believer in not grabbing those checks unless I feel really desperate and like I have to get them until it's more convenient to do so, and the flute makes them more convenient. So I was very happy to clean up Sphere 1 once I got the flute, and extremely glad I did so. Oh man, yes. those were crucial finds. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you found the mitts first, and we were worried that with the mitts that would just push you into the dark world and you wouldn't find the fire rod. But yeah, when we saw you flute over to 8, it was sigh of relief.
I thought about it. I was thinking I could just skip Ice Rod entirely and just go straight Dark World, but that's really not my style. I don't like to leave checks hanging because every time I gamble on something like that, it burns me. I prefer to just clear the game until I win. I don't like skipping stuff.
Well, one thing you did choose to skip that everyone couldn't stop talking about was, despite having 4 bottles, no sick kid.
I'm just dumb. I never walked in there. So actually, no. My intention was, I think, to do that after Magic Bat, but then like Magic Bat's hammer derailed me, and I was just like, oh, well, that completely flipped my brain over, and I'm like, well, now I have the hammer. Let's go do anything that requires the hammer. So it just like left immediately.
Yeah, it was very funny. Both of you just didn't check it. So as we were approaching this like Ice Rod hunt near the end of the game, we were like, Ice Rod's got to be on sick kid, right?
That would have been tough to get back to if it was. I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, you had also skipped hammer pegs too, I believe.
Yeah, I could have done hammer pegs. I could have done Lazy Kid. I could have gone at any point back into Thieves Town. Now that Thieves Town was a mess, but whatever.
Yeah, it saved you. It definitely saved you. There was a bunch of nothing in there.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that I got all the things without going in there, yeah. After that front 0, I'm just like, this sucks, but I feel like I have to do it, and then it killed me, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm never going back in there until it's the last thing to do, and turns out that was okay.
Yeah.
Were you planning to dip out after the front 4 checks, and just it was a like all-time bad front of Thieves Town, so you chose to go to the back?
No, I want to. Yeah, I mean that's I wanted to bail out after front 4, but since there were 0 items, I'm like, I feel like I need to find something in this dungeon, so I'm gonna continue. And then got bought by those bugs. I was like 1 or 2 pixels off from just getting. I was hooking the rail instead of hooking the bugs, and I was like, I should have just waited for them to move. Honestly.
Yeah, those are weirdly one of the deadlier enemies in this game. So no shame. So this was your game 1. I'm curious if you're going to, I don't know, maybe play more aggressively or any differently in game 2, knowing that you're up.
Probably not. I don't like to change my style up too much usually. I try my best to just keep things like a consistent sort of mindset. So yeah, I mean, being up one gives me a little bit of freedom if I do feel like I need to make things crazy. But honestly, having that comfort, like I might be less aggressive, maybe a little bit, but probably not that much.
Yeah, it worked out this race, so
yeah,
change
it definitely paid out here. Yeah, I was surprised to see how close it was too. Actually, looking at the race stream as I was waiting for the catch up, and I was like, oh, Taale was not that far behind me.
Yeah, it was definitely it was close. There was definitely a lot of high five moments going on. Tell you that for sure.
For sure, yeah. Taale found the hammer a bit later, which I think contributed to the time difference a bit. But yeah, it could have gone either way with just a few choices different here and there.
Yeah, I'll have to. I don't usually go back and rewatch my races, but I think this is one I will because I really want to see how the difference is played out in this one.
Yeah, it's really the cool thing about this tournament. I'm so into this tournament so far. Is even in these, it was open signups. It's unseeded matchups early, but we're still seeing just really competitive, like high quality rando runs in these group phases. So it's definitely fun to watch. Definitely go back and take a peek.
Yeah, I was. I'm admittedly not familiar entirely with all of my group, but I've been told it's a tough group by people who know most of the runners better than I do. So I'm willing to believe it, considering how this game one played out.
Yeah, it's cool to be part of. There's a lot of new names. I know. I've only started really playing competitively over the last few months. There's just a lot of new folks in the community, and like I keep saying, like tune into these Challenge Cup races. It's a good opportunity to be a part of a growing community of friendly folks.
Yeah, between like the qualifiers and then Challenge Cup, like I feel like a lot of people have come out of the woodwork. There's so many names I don't recognize, whether they're new or old. I'm just like, whether I'll just get definitely to meet them, I guess, by racing against them.
Yep, eventually, just come across them in a tournament or something. That'd be nice.
So, have you scheduled your game 2 yet?
Yep, we have our next game. It's going to be tomorrow at the same time, whatever 2 p.m. my time is, 5 Eastern.
5 Eastern, yep.
And we'll schedule game 3 if we have to. Hopefully I can just 2-0 it. That'd be nice and not have to worry, but...
Right. All right, we ready to wrap up?
I believe so.
All right, so GG's to our runners. Thank you, Adilor. GG on the win, and thank you, Taale. That was an awesome race to watch. Lead went back and forth quite a bit. Thank you to our commentators, Airshap and Trey Spire. Thank you so much for commentating, and thank you to TJ for tracking. On ZSR later on tonight, at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time on ZSR2, we have another Challenge Cup race between Dapper Wormman and Nochi Bato. I hope I said that right. And at midnight Eastern Time tonight on this channel, we have Amaranth Alterna versus Famt TV. So those are 2 hype matches to watch. Those are both game 3s, by the way. So in both those matches, they are deciding who moves on to the winners round of their group and who moves on to the losers round of the group. So both very hype. Check it out if you want to watch. Hopefully we get to watch them because we need commentators for a few of them. So in any case, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you had a good time and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!